If you clicked on this video, you're probably curious on what I mean by mindset. People talk about it all the time, but what is it even supposed to mean? Well, we'll be getting into that in just a second. Just a quick reminder, this is the second video of this 2-video guide. In the first video, we covered the game settings, skins, and hardware you might want to be using when playing Osu. In this video, we'll be covering mods, tapping styles, and different habits players might have. With that out of the way, let's get started. Alright, let's go over all of Osu's mods. Mods in the game can be accessed by hitting F1 on your keyboard while in song selection. Although I'll be explaining all the mods, I really think you should try them out while you're playing in your free time. Experiencing it yourself will be better than any description I can give you. In the first category, we have difficulty reduction mods. This includes easy, no fail, and half. Each of these mods are designed to make the game easier in exchange for a reduced final score. Easy makes the circles larger and your health drained slower. It gives you 3 lives to make it past the song. Unfortunately, this mod can also make songs painfully slow, so much so that people will turn easy on to make impressive looking plays. In truth, easy mod is an absolute nightmare, and unless you yourself want to make some cool looking plays, I would stay away from it. Next up, there's no fail. Yep, can't fail the song if you have this on. That's it. Next, half slows the song down to 75% despite its name. It's nice to use when you're practicing specific songs, but otherwise it isn't too special. Next up are the difficulty increase mods. These mods are designed to make your experience a little bit harder. In return, the game rewards you with an increased score multiplier. First up is Hard Rock. This mod decreases the size of the circles while increasing both the HP drain and the approach circle speed. Lots of players will use this to train accuracy. Sudden Death, which you can enable by clicking the panel once, and Perfect, which can be enabled by clicking the panel once more, makes the game significantly harder. Sudden Death causes the player to fail immediately if they miss any notes, while Perfect auto-retries the song as soon as the player's accuracy is anything lower than Perfect. These mods don't give any score benefits, and are instead used by players to help guarantee a score that they want. Double Time and Nightcore are very popular mods. Double Time is enabled by pressing the button once, and Nightcore is enabled by pressing the button once more. Both of these mods increase the song's speed to 150% of its original, despite the mod's name, and Nightcore increases the pitch of the song as well. Hidden is probably Osu's most popular mod. It removes the approach circles from the game and causes hit circles to fade out after appearing. Last up is Flashlight. This mod darkens the entire screen and only illuminates the section around the cursor. The map is further darkened during sliders. Very few players use this mod due to how difficult it is to use, but hey, if you want a challenge, go for it. Our final category is the special mods. Most of these are used for training or utility purposes. Our first 2 mods are Relax and Autopilot. When using these mods, your score will not be submitted for ranking. Relax makes it so that Osu will click the circles for you and all you have to do is aim. On the other hand, in Autopilot, you don't have to aim at the circles at all. All you have to do is click to the rhythm. The Spun Out mod is next, and all it does is complete the spinners in a song for you. In exchange, it reduces your score multiplier to 90%. The Auto mod essentially has Osu play the map out for you. By clicking the button one more time, you can enable Cinematic mode. Cinematic mode removes all the notes so that you can simply watch the storyboard, video, or background of the map. The last mod is called Score version 2. This simply changes the way your score is calculated and does not impact the gameplay at all. Any scores achieved with this on, though, will be nulled and will not count towards your rank. Now that we're done with mods, I'll not only be talking about my own experience, but FallingSnow's experience, a former top 670 player in Osu a few years back. I myself fell in love with the game around 3.5 years ago, and I'm a little giddy with excitement that I'm now kind of making a guide for new players, because it's a fun game, you know? Playing with friends has always been one of my favorite parts of this game, and I always love seeing people get super excited over a new high score. Before I dive in, let me address the most common piece of advice that people give. Play more. I don't like this answer. It doesn't really tell you anything, and it almost feels like the person is like telling you, like they're poking fun at you for not being good. There's a little bit of truth to it, but I'll get back into this once I've explained where you should be starting out. For the newer players, ranked 100,000 and higher, welcome to the game. At these ranks, you're still learning the basics. At this point though, the most beneficial thing you can do is play all different kinds of maps. We want to get as much experience with the game as possible, and what better way is there to get experience by playing everything. As you play, you'll start encountering all the different kind of jumping patterns and streams for the very first time, and every time you experience something new, you'll get a little bit better. Playing the game at this stage should be really fun, especially if you're going into it with a couple of friends. One thing I really do have to warn you about though is you want to avoid retrying the same map over and over in the same small period of time. Retrying mid-song ends up building bad habits in the long run, as well as bring something nasty that many Osu players will call mind lock. Mind lock being essentially your brain getting used to missing the notes and bad habits that were built through retrying the song so many times. One other tip I have is you should probably avoid using mods, except hidden maybe. Mods are generally added to make the songs easier or harder, but when you're still new to the game, there's a lot more benefit to simply playing higher star level songs, or if you're struggling, lower star level songs. The one exception to the mod rule would be hidden. The hidden mod not only forces players to be more accurate with their timing, but it also improves your map reading. On top of that, you get a little bonus to your map score for almost no additional effort, so I really would recommend everyone giving this a try. But if you're kind of like me and you find that hidden just isn't your thing, feel free to swap off of it. If you're new to the game and you need some maps to start playing, hop into a multiplayer match around your skill level. People will pull up the maps that they have and you can download them as you continue to play. If you have a particular song that you want to see if Osu has, throw it into the Google search bar along with Osu behind it. If it exists, it'll be one of the first couple of search results. Be careful not to excessively play songs way out of your difficulty range though. Playing the Big Black or Freedom Dive right from the get-go, although fun, isn't the most productive. Now, before I move on to the top 100,000 players and how you should probably be looking to improve yourself, since I'm only ranked 70,000, I'm going to ask you to take my advice with a grain of salt. I wanted to make sure that the information I give you today is accurate, and that's why I sought out FallingSnow's advice. You can find Snow's original Reddit post in the description below, but according to Snow, one of the most important things you can do when improving yourself in these higher ranks is self-reflection. Rewatching your plays and finding out where you struggle and where you succeed helps pinpoint the parts that we need to improve and work on. If you've made it this far, chances are you also might have a small idea regarding what's holding you back. Is your endurance during your streams? Is it your little brother bumping into your desk when you're trying to FC? That wasn't your little brother, that was me, sorry, I'll try to stop that. Regardless of what it is, search for the maps that might have an emphasis on your weakness. If you're struggling with streams, look towards maps like Brainpower or Tower of Heaven. If you're struggling with jumps, look towards some of Sotark's maps. Although it might be tempting to download a pure jump or death stream map, Snow mentions that these maps generally aren't that helpful because even though you're improving the one skill you are struggling with, you're also neglecting all the other important skills that you improve naturally from playing normal maps. You don't have to perfect one of your skills before moving on to the next. All your skills will continue to improve, so as long as you keep challenging yourself with maps on the higher end of your skill level. And that kind of brings me back to the point I was making before. Telling people to simply play more Osu if they want to improve just isn't right. The most important thing out of everything in this entire series when improving isn't hour-long training sessions, hand grip workouts, and stream training, but actually having fun with the game. If your sole purpose for playing Osu is to get better and you're not having fun, not only will your motivation to play disappear, but playing the game will start to become a chore. If Osu isn't your primary game and you picked it up to improve your aim in Rainbow Six Siege or CSGO, then that's fine. But if this is a game you're trying to play with friends and you're playing it because you love the music, art, and the community that you've met along the way, then maybe pushing yourself to a point that you're not having fun anymore with the game just isn't worth it. If you're ever struggling to have fun, take time to browse the other parts of the community. Whether it be participating in community tournaments like the BQT or mapping, play to have fun, and the skill will come in time. As I start to close out this video, there's one more topic that I want to cover, and that topic is different tapping styles. If you've played for a while, you might have heard the term single tapping and alternating floating around the community. Essentially, single tapping is the use of a single finger to tap the circles, while alternating is the use of two fingers, alternating between the two fingers between each and every note to play. While this could be an entire video on its own, just know that both playstyles have their pros and cons, and the best style is a combination of both prioritized around your preferences. Use two fingers to hit bursts or streams, and use single tapping when notes are relatively slow. If you'd like to have another video talking about tapping styles, or if you have any questions regarding it, you can drop down a comment or even ask me live on Twitch on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays at 3:30 Pacific time. With that, that's all I really had to say. Subscribe if you liked it, and like it if you like it. I'm Ahrin, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.